Today I will be discussing a topic that is necrosis. It is normally we do it in pathology second year, I guess. What I'll be telling you right now is necrosis is a normal question that is asked in our exams in second year pathology. So the easiest way, that means always when you are doing a pathology exam, the most important thing is you represent the answer in form of points. Do not elaborate much of it. Just points gives you score. Just writing a passage and then you have only a few things important in it, you don't score. That is why people normally do not get marks in subjects like that. So I'll just give now a topic that is frequently asked, necrosis, and I'll just give you what all are the key points. That doesn't mean that every point is included in this. A few points that must be there in your answer. If a evaluator checks your answer, these points must be there, which will help you score. So only the points I'll be telling here. You can take down the points so that you can elaborate it. I'll give a small idea regarding it also. So necrosis, the literal meaning, what we know of necrosis, a lame person or anybody else says about necrosis is, what is it? It is just a cell being rotten, isn't it? So necrosis is the localized area of death of tissue. A localized area, in a definite location only it is seen. Area of death of a tissue. First point. That is followed by the degradation of the tissue. So normally when there is a death of the tissue area, there is a degradation of the tissue. From what it is caused? It is caused by hydrolytic enzymes. From where does the hydrolytic enzyme come? It comes from the dead cells, which in turn final result leads to the inflammatory reaction which is accompanying it. This will be your definition. Agents that cause necrosis, the next point. So first definition should be included. Next is agents that cause necrosis. 4 points. Just at least whatever I'm telling is at least it should be there in your answer. But more than this will be needed also. So agents that cause necrosis is hypoxia. We know what hypoxia is. Hypoxia, chemical and physical agents, microbial agents, and immunological injury. Next point to add, after agents that cause. The two changes that is seen in every irreversible injury of a cell necrosis. 2 points. Again, only the points I'm mentioning. First point, cell digestion by lytic enzymes. We said necrosis, it should be caused by something that is destroying the cell. So the cell is digested by a lytic enzyme. Next, denaturation of proteins. The proteins also should be losing its properties. So this denaturation of protein is normally seen in nuclear changes in a necrotic cell. Okay, that means the denaturation of proteins present in nucleus. So the nuclear changes will be seen in the necrotic cell. Next, the most mark carrying part. Types of necrosis. There are few types. First type I'll tell you is a coagulative necrosis. It is a very common type of necrosis. It is also caused by irreversible cell injury, and it is the main cause of this is it is from an ischemia. That means the loss of blood supply to an area. And the most organs affected by a coagulative necrosis are heart, kidney, and spleen. Then comes the microscopic appearance of a coagulative necrotic cell. That is the hallmark. The hallmark of this you have to remember is the normal cells will be converted to a tombstone's outlined cells. That is, the outline will remain the same of the cell. That is to identify the cell. But the cytoplasmic and the nuclear details will be lost. Okay. So when we are coming to the types of the necrotic types, in that we have to always have a small description in the beginning. What are its causes and stuff like that. Then the affected parts, which all are the organs affected. Then comes the microscopic and grossly and microscopic of that necrotic cell. These all should be coming in each type of necrosis. So next, colligative necrosis, also called as liquefaction necrosis. So liquefaction, so the name suggests the cell should be liquefied. It is also due to an ischemic injury, bacterial and fungal infection, due to the degradation of the tissue by action of powerful hydrolytic enzymes. So This destruction is caused by a powerful hydrolytic enzyme. The hydrolytic enzyme obviously digests this and cause the liquefaction process. It should be turned into water, so it requires a hydrolytic enzyme. Key point. Next, the organs affected normally seen in infarct brain and an abscess cavity. Remember it, both of this, as both are water. Remember in that way. Next, the gross appearance of a colligative necrosis. That is, it will be soft, liquid in center, and the necrotic debris which will be later, cyst wall will be formed around that. Next, caseous necrosis. It is seen in, when you remember about a caseous necrosis, the only thing you keep in mind is it is related to tuberculosis cases. So it is found in the center of the foci of a TB infectious cell. This caseous necrosis is formed from two types of other necrosis. That is a combination of two necrosis, coagulative and liquefactive. And the gross appearance, as the name suggests, caseous, it resembles a dry cheese appearance. Next is fat necrosis. Fat necrosis is normally seen pancreas. Remember the organ pancreas, following acute pancreatic necrosis, and also after a traumatic fat necrosis, seen normally in pancreas and in breast. Both are the fat containing organs. Next, in pancreas, how it works is that liberation of the pancreatic lipase from the injured tissue leads to the necrosis of the pancreas. Okay, gross appearance of fat necrosis is that, as the name suggests, it will be a yellowish white firm deposit. Next, last type of necrosis, fibrinoid necrosis. Fibrinoid necrosis, deposition of fibrin-like material, as the name suggests, fibrin-like material found in the immunologic tissue injury. It is normally seen in cases of peptic ulcer, autoimmune disease, and Arthur's reaction. So whenever you are going for a necrosis, when you are answering a necrosis, it should first include a definition, then it should include the agents, then it should include the types. In types, again, it should include the appearance, as I said, the gross appearance and the microscopic appearance. Later, organs affected also should be mentioned in that, and also the causes of it. These all should come into types also. Half of them, from the name suggest, you can get the idea of the type. Thank you.